Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Tom and welcome back to a brand new video, and this is episode number 12, I believe, of Zero to Hero. We are here for the Singapore Grand Prix under the twilight and the night skies and the very beautiful venue that is Singapore, and one of the most glamorous and beautiful circuits on the calendar, you've got to say, and one of the most unique, obviously, street circuit in the night. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the series so far. We are starting to get towards the tail end of the series now. Quickly looking at the setup, guys. Obviously, if spoiler alert, we missed last time out. We got a fantastic result in Italy, but unfortunately we did get a setup reset, and we got a complimentary upgrade after of a rear wing. But basically the only thing we've got on the car that is modified is the rear wing. So luckily enough, it's just a street circuit, so the default setup with some rear wing for extra added speed should come in nice and handy for us. So all we've got to do is hope we can get a good result, and fingers crossed we can try and get a result here at Singapore. And if you guys are excited for this race, please leave a like straight away, straight off the bat on this video, because I really love the support, guys, on this series. You guys are really giving me some great support. But here we go, 5 red lights, and we're underway for the Singapore Grand Prix. Getting a pretty okay start, actually, pretty decent one. Not really any wheel spin, but you know, you just can't match the AR for starts, unfortunately, in the day on this game. But here we go, making our way into the first corner now, trying to find our way past some of these manners here. And we're actually going to go nice and wide through the turn 3 to switch back on the manners here and get a great exit through turn 3, through turn 4, and now into turn number 5. We should get past both of them, hopefully. Verlon's going to try and stick up the sub, but we're just going to hang it around the outside on the young German as we make our way onto the back straight for the first time this race. And as you can see, we're picking up some slipstream here on Fernando Alonso and Felipe Nasr. Can we possibly try and dive one up the inside here? Yes, we are. We're going to try and have a little bit of a sniff up the inside of Alonso, make the move into the braking zone, and we're going to get past the Spaniard for now, and we're going to do a double overtake on Magnussen and Nasr into the next right-hander there. So 3 overtakes in the space of 2 corners, getting ourselves up into P15 as we now go through the left-hander and getting a brilliant run on the exit of the corner here. Can we possibly try and dive one up the inside of Hulkenberg up the next corner? It doesn't look like it. We're a little bit too far away here, even though we did brake quite late there, and we're just going to have to hold back for now, going through the little chicane, which is not the same in real life anymore. This has been modified in real life, but this is the last time we're going to see that chicane in these sort of videos, as we dive one up the inside of Nico Hulkenberg here at the hip, where Massa infamously overtook Bruno Senna in 2012. And there's going to be a bit of a drag race here down the back straight into turn 14 here, and Nico Hulkenberg is going to try and go back up my inside, but I'm just going to hold it around the outside, and that's the move done for us, pretty much done and dusted. Hulkenberg cannot really fight for us there, and that is the move done. So I'm in a P14 in only 1 lap at Singapore, which, you know, has to be said is pretty good here, but it could be P13 as we dive one up the inside of Jensen Button through the final corner. So P13, so, you know, 7 positions in 1 lap. That's not too bad considering this is a street circuit. So overall good progress so far as we go on to the end of lap 2, exactly 1 lap later, and we're onto the back of Danny Kvyat here as DRS gets enabled, and we set the PB lap of the race as we go up the inside of the Russian through turn 1, and a fantastic move up the inside, the textbook maneuver up the inside of turn 1, and we've got ourselves up into P12, and we're now on the back of Max Verstappen. And can we possibly try and line him up for a move here? Obviously DRS is now enabled for the first time this race, and we get a great run through the right hander there, which is going to put us right on the back of the young Dutchman here onto the back straight. So can we possibly open up the rear flap and try and dive one up the inside of the young Dutchman into the next left-hander? We're going to try and go for it here, nice and late on the brakes, having a little second go and nibble under the brakes at Verstappen there. The first time I broke a little bit too early, so I decided to let off the brake and push the brake a little bit later on, and just literally force my way up the inside of Verstappen there and make the move for P11. And we're now on the back of Sergio Perez here. DRS, both of us have got DRS here, so nothing really happening, so I'm going to have to get him on the brakes into turn 1, which is exactly what I do there, to take P10, and we get ourselves into the points for the first time this race on that number 4, and we're now on the back of Julian Palmer. And I've got to say, if we can get past these 3 cars nice and early in the next couple of laps or so, we'll be in great shape for the rest of the race here at Singapore, as it is the longest one on the calendar in terms of duration, and it's a very long lap, so it's going to be plenty of laps here to try and do some damage to the top 5. And as you can see now, we've got DRS and Julian Palmer. I'm just going to dive one up the inside of the left hander, even though he also had DRS. It's no problem for me, and I make a nice simple move up the inside, and we're up in the P9 now. We're now on the back of Marcus Ericsson on the end of lap 4 here. I'm just going to try and have a look up the inside, but there's no room through there, just a little bit too far back, unlike Jensen Button a couple of laps ago. And we're just going to pick him off on the pit straight. Nice and easy move, as you can see, getting the momentum out the final corner, and then we just basically get Marcus Ericsson up the inside of the first corner there. So a very simple move up the inside of the Swedish driver, and we're now on the back of Carlos Sainz here, who's in a very impressive P7 so far this race, but I think we're going to demote him back down to P8, as I'm going to try and get past him here on this stretch. We get a brilliant run through the right hander, and Carlos Sainz hasn't got DRS, so this should be a pretty simple move. DRS wide open now, just going to pull to the inside and just basically fly past Carlos Sainz, because I've got the rear wing value set to 1, so I should have maximum straight line speed available in terms of what the setup can do. So I should be pretty nippy in a straight line, and that's exactly what showed right there. As we skip later on onto the midway through lap 7, we're going to try and dive right up the inside of Bottas here. He's giving us a good old squeeze onto the wall there, and we do actually get the move done up the inside. Bottas still keeps his nose inside, or around the outside should I say. He's actually going to come back at us down the straight here, and I'm actually going to have to yield for the position for now, because I'm running awfully deep into into turn 14, and Bottas actually re-overtakes me there, so no way through just for now on the young Finnish driver there. But Massa, as you can see, peels off into the pit lane on lap 7, and I'm all over the back of Bottas here, and I'm just going to get a great exit through the final corner, and that's going to put us almost alongside into the first corner, and I'm just going to take one up the inside, similar to Marcus Ericsson, the exact same sort of move, and that's just up into P3 now, because obviously people are starting to pit. So as you can see now on the end of lap 9, I've decided to stretch my strategy out, because I've got a bit of an idea. Now what I'm going to do this race is most of the AI are on a 3-stop strategy. I'm going to go for the 2-stop, and I'm going to drag it out. So I'm going to see, I want to stay a couple more laps each stint, and hopefully that will mean that I can go to the end with one less stop, and hopefully have track position, because if I have track position around here, then it should be pretty hard for people like Rosberg, Vettel and Hamilton to get past me. So as you can see, I'm coming in now. I'm on the exit of my first stop here, going to another set of super soft tyres, and I'm going to rejoin just behind Felipe Massa here in P6, as you can see, just behind the Brazilian driver. So not too bad, considering Massa did stop, what was it, 2 laps before me. So I literally at the same pace on worn tyres, but we got past Massa fairly quickly actually, and we're now on the back of the Honey Badger, Daniel Ricciardo, and I try to think about making a move up the inside there, but I think better of it to try and get a much better exit, as you can see, and I literally fly past Daniel Ricciardo on the pit straight to take P4 from him there with some DRS, and a couple laps later we're now on the back of our teammate Sebastian Vettel, going through the final corner. DRS wide open here. Vettel doesn't have DRS, so this should be a fairly simple move up the inside of the first corner here, and indeed it is, as you can see, getting nice and late on the brakes. We make the move on our teammate there. We're up in the P3 now, so we've got both of the Mercedes remaining, and hopefully we can get past those, then we'll be into first place. So that'd be fantastic here at Singapore. As we go into lap 14, pretty much half race distance here, and we're all over the back of Hamilton here. DRS wide open, and I'm actually tapping the back of him, as we're now going to try and dive one up the inside of the left-hander here, but Hamilton actually is much better than me on the brakes. However, I get a much better run through the corner there to get past Hamilton, and he can't really push much of a fight as we make the move there for P2 on the British driver, and that is us now, literally P2, one more place to go, and we'll take the lead of the race. Now we did actually take the lead because Rosberg pit, obviously we're on a different strategy, but in theory now after this pit stop we should come back out in P2 or maybe even P3, so we have to wait and see how things feed out here as we come in for our second stop of the race. Now we are coming in for a set of soft tyres now, and in this stint we actually really struggle to stretch it out, but we are going to go to the end. Now I'm a little bit worried because if you guys remember from co-op, then you'll know that the soft tyres don't really go particularly well on this track. Now it's a bit of a shot in the dark I'm taking here. I'm hoping that because I'm on the full setup, the tyres will be okay and hold on just about, but like I said, it's a bit of a shot in the dark here. Meanwhile, you can see we've come out in P3 just behind Lewis Hamilton, so we've actually lost the position to Lewis Hamilton in those couple of laps that we stayed out on the super soft tyres there. So it just goes to show how much slower I was on those older tyres by trying to stretch out this strategy and make it work. Now obviously we're running quite deep into turn 3, and you can see we're on the cold tyres, and Vettel now is all over the back of us on the super soft tyres, so we're pretty much a sitting duck here in a straight line as we go into the braking point, and Vettel's just going to fly past us with some DRS assistance, and we basically have to let the position go there because we've just basically got no pace on the cold tyres so far. However, a couple laps later my tyres did come up to temperature, and Vettel's super softs did go on to wear out a little bit, and onto the start of lap 21 we open up the DRS here, and we're going to make the exact same move we did onto Vettel about at lap 13, and we're just going to dive one up the inside of the first corner there to retake P3, and we're now got to see if we can try and get past Lewis Hamilton, and indeed we do. As you can see, Hamilton pits in that very same lap into the pit lane there for his final stop of the race, I believe, and he'll be going to a set of soft tyres, and the very next lap after that Rosberg is the man to pit. So right now the strategy has worked out an absolute treat. We're into the lead of the race, and we are going to the end here at Singapore, so things are looking good so far. However, the tyre wear did start to creep in a little bit as we go through the left hand, and we actually clipped the inside wall there. So we've actually clipped the inside wall, and it's something that I do all the time, and I've done it before in other games. It's such a simple mistake to make. You just literally turning a fraction too early, and you think you've made the corner, but then your left rear just clips the inside wall. As you can see, once again, lap 26, very close to the wall there again. But what that meant is Rosberg's actually caught up to us here because our tyres are much more worn than his, and because we hit the wall, we're slower here as we go into turn 14 now, lock up, and we actually get spun out by Rosberg. So there's been contact between the two of us here. I think Rosberg's actually hit the wall, and he stayed stuck in the wall. I think he might have lost his front wing, so we need to look at a replay of that, but I'm pretty sure, I think maybe I'm to blame. I'm not sure. Let's just watch this now. I lock up, as you can see, and then Rosberg spins me out into the braking point. Now, I can't tell you, my idea for that was I went up the inside and I got the braking all wrong, and I wanted to go straight and take the escape road, but Rosberg had other intentions and he actually turned into me. Now, I can tell you, I believe the stewards have decided to give me a 3-second time penalty here. So as you can see, I'm up 31. Vettel's trying to overtake us here, and I put up 0 fight because I was going to lose the position anyway because I had a 3-second time penalty. So there was no point in me fighting our teammate. We might as well just secure the 1-2 for Ferrari. And as you can see, coming through the final corner now, Vettel's going to win the race, and I'm going to come home in 2nd place. And just like real life, Vettel wins the Singapore Grand Prix there. But a bit of controversy on the last couple of laps there. Rosberg wanting to make the move there. You guys let me know in the comments down below whose fault you thought that was. Personally, I can understand why I got the penalty, but my intention was to go down the escape road and then do a flick spin and get on my way again. But Rosberg, basically, because the way the AI work is, he just basically took the corner as he normally would, having literally he literally had no consideration for where I was placed in terms of the track. He just turned in anyway, regardless of where I was. So I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments down below who thought you thought that could have been. But as you can see, that is the top 3 with Lewis Hamilton running off the podium there. So looking at the final race results, it's a 1-2 for Ferrari with Lewis Hamilton running off the podium, like I said, with Ricciardo in 4th, Felipe Massa and Bottas in 5th and 6th, then Kvyat and Sainz in 7th and 8th, Verstappen in 9th, and Marcus Ericsson rounding off the points with Nico Rosberg all the way down in P12. So that crash must have done more damage than what I expected. So Rosberg finishing almost a minute behind in P12. So I mean, I don't think you could have lost that much time with just the pit stop. I mean, obviously there must have been something else going on there, but either way, Rosberg finishes in P12, I finish in P2, and that means in the World Drivers' Championship we're now only 11 points behind Nico Rosberg, and also Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton have closed in the gap, so the top 4 are covered by 44 points. It just had to be, didn't it? But as you can see, that Drivers' Championship is getting really tasty now, and we've got about 6 races to go, I believe. So things are really starting to heat up here, and we're now going to quickly move to the constructors, because I believe, because Rosberg got that pole result, I think we're actually going to overtake Mercedes, and indeed we do there. So we actually overtake Mercedes in the constructors by 8 points, and we're the first team to break into the 400s. So a great race for us in terms of point score positions. Obviously there's a controversy of the crash, but overall a great race for Ferrari and myself. And looking at the permutations, you can see that 2nd place means we get 2 spins of the wheel, so we're going to do that right now, and let's see what we get from the wheel here. Hopefully we can get something good, because we really need to improve our setup here, and the first thing we're going to get is the ballast. So not a particularly insane upgrade. It'll do me. I mean, an upgrade is an upgrade, but hopefully the second one can be a little bit better, and it's going to be the no first lap overtakes again. I was hoping we get a rear suspension there, but it's the no first lap overtake. So for the next race in Malaysia, I will not be able to overtake on the first lap. So please be sure to tune into that race, guys. I think it'll be absolutely fantastic. And hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, then please do smash that like button. Let's see if we try and hit 80 likes. And also, if you're new around here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, guys. But that's about it for this video, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. Goodbye.